Hello everybody, I am Barak Ziv at busywork.com. I am a motion designer and today I want to talk about the speed graph. This is the animation curve that we usually use to animate ease-ins and ease-outs on the position parameter. And once in a while I hear animators talk about how they don't like the speed graph or they don't understand it. It's different than the value graph that we are used to when we change things like rotation and scale, and when we change the position curve in other animation programs. So what I mean by that is I have my mugshot characters here. If I take the position graph over here, I have my animation, and if I want to stretch it to make it more manually ease in and slower, it doesn't work. In my rotation guy, if I want to make it slow in the beginning, means slow in the middle, I can just stretch it. The handles, it can be very slow. I can stretch in the beginning, stretch in the end, and I will have all these eases. But it doesn't work like that with the position. So After Effects is actually doing something smart when it doesn't allow you to manually stretch the handles, get the Bezier handles, to manually change our own animation ease. We can do it by selecting the keyframe and give it an ease like that, but it doesn't actually let us stretch it, because if you will do it, we will actually ruin the position of the animation. The position of our animation actually comes from the handles in the comp. Notice when you change them, you actually changing the curves themselves in the graph. So for example, if I'm going to separate dimensions and actually being able to manually change those handles, and I can do it by, now I can actually do it. I can stretch vertically, horizontally, both the X and the Y. My whole animation changed. My guy is not moving the same way that I want this guy to move. My mugshot guy moving in a different way. I want to be able to slow it down in the middle, make it very fast in the beginning, slow down in the middle, and very fast in the end, without ruining my animation that I already picked and liked. So just going to do a couple of times, and I'm going to jump to the speed graph. The speed graph is a little bit different. Again, left to right, you have the change over time, but vertically you don't have the actual numerical value. You have is the total speed. So if you want things to be slow, you need to lower the numbers over here, lower the speed, and raise them up in the beginning. So now I have very fast, very slow. Now some people don't like it because it's hard to do this continuous Bezier thing from left to right. You can still do it, but it might be a little bit clunky. So I hope that makes sense. Another example is with this camera movement. I have this camera over here. Let's say it's supposed to be very specific. The art director really likes it. It shows the logo in the proper way. But if I want to add an ease by separating the dimensions and using the value graph, once I'm going to start stretching the keyframes handles, I'm changing the position of my camera, and if it had to be exactly this way, it's going to show something else and not the way that I want it to be. If I want it to be slow at the end and I'm stretching the Z, it's actually changing where I am in the middle. So that's why the gods of After Effects have gave us this option of just changing the speed graph. I can slow down the end, speed up the beginning without ruining the middle of my animation. Just a quick note about it. Every kind of object that has a position parameter, for example, the crosshair here on the offset turbulence, it's the same thing. It doesn't let you change the value. You cannot change the value here. You can give it an ease by using the keyframe, the shortcuts here. You can change the keyframe velocity, which is basically like changing the speed graph. 0 is very slow, influences how long the handle is going to be. I don't like that option so much because you cannot see interactively how it works, but that's another way to change it. But if you want to change it manually and have an interactive view of how it works, that is the way to go. So I hope all this makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to me. I'll be happy to answer if I can. I am Barak Ziv at busywork.com. Thank you for watching.